That's why exposure is not just about seeing them, it's about starving them. Stop feeding what's already been defeated. You'll also see how your dreams start to shift. Before exposure, your dreams were filled with confusion and fear, but afterward you'll notice clarity, symbols of victory, or sometimes confrontation. God will start revealing strategies in your sleep, names, faces, warnings. Don't ignore them. Write them down, pray over them. Because once you've exposed witchcraft, the spiritual realm becomes more active around you. You're no longer asleep, you become a watcher, a gatekeeper. Heaven begins to show you what others miss, and every time you respond in obedience, your spiritual authority multiplies. The witches will sense that authority too. They may not say it, but they feel it. That's why their presence becomes uneasy when you walk in. They can't fake calm anymore. Their laughter sounds hollow. Their smile trembles. They'll start avoiding spiritual conversations because your discernment exposes their motives before they finish their sentence. They'll even pretend they're too busy to be around you, but the truth is, your spirit makes their demons restless. Your peace irritates their chaos. And this is where many people fail. They start to feel sorry for the witch again. They see them struggling, isolated, drained, and think, maybe I should reach out, maybe I should help. But understand, not every struggle is suffering. Some struggles are judgment. When God begins to deal with witchcraft, it looks like loss. He removes their influence, their comfort, their connections, until they have nowhere left to hide. Don't interfere with divine correction. Compassion without discernment becomes disobedience. Pray for their soul, but don't interrupt God's process. Then comes the stage of imitation again. They start copying your spiritual lifestyle. You'll see them using your phrases, your prayers, your methods. They'll even post scriptures that you shared or mimic your tone of voice. They're trying to reconnect through resemblance, but you'll notice there's no anointing in their imitation. It sounds right, but it feels wrong. It's hollow, lifeless, mechanical, because witchcraft can imitate language, but it can't imitate presence. The presence of God cannot be faked. It can only be carried. They may even send others to test your discernment indirectly. Someone will approach you pretending to be neutral, but carrying their energy. It's a spiritual probe. They want to know if you're still aware. That's why you must keep your guard up even in friendly environments. Spiritual warfare often hides behind casual conversation. Not every "how are you" is innocent. The enemy still studies you, waiting for signs of fatigue. That's why you must never let your guard down in seasons of peace. The absence of attack is not always victory. Sometimes it's reconnaissance. And notice this, as your discernment increases, your circle will naturally shrink. People you once depended on will drift away. It's not rejection, it's refinement. God is purging the atmosphere around you because not everyone can breathe at higher levels of revelation. Some connections must break for your authority to stabilize. You can't carry divine secrets among people who gossip. You can't operate in spiritual purity while surrounded by unclean motives. And notice the contact. So when people start leaving after exposure, don't chase them. Thank God quietly and keep walking. You'll begin to see how everything around you adjusts. Your prayer life deepens. Your worship becomes more intense. You start feeling God's presence stronger and quicker. Because now there's less interference. The spiritual static that once surrounded you is gone. You've removed the drain, the distraction, the deception. And suddenly, clarity returns. You hear God's voice again. Not muffled, not distant, but clear. That's the fruit of exposure. Restored communication.